Hello and welcome to this session in which we will keep discussing the elements of a contract. To have a valid enforceable contract, we need three elements: an offer and acceptance, which is a mutual assent between two parties, an exchange of value or an exchange of consideration between the two parties, and there's no defense, no reason for the court not to enforce this contract. In this session, we're going to be looking at a situation where performing under the contract becomes impossible. What we call it is the impossibility of performance. Under those circumstances, one or both parties, they are off the hook. Basically, they no longer have to perform. The contract becomes void or voidable. So we need to discuss what are these situations, because impossibility could mean many things. What is impossible to fulfill the contract? So let's go ahead and take a look at this aspect of the contract. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, FarhatLectures.com.
Farhat Accounting Lectures is a supplemental educational tool that's going to help you with your CPA exam preparation as well as your accounting courses. My CPA material is aligned with your CPA review course such as Becker, Roger, Wiley, Gleam, Miles. My accounting courses are aligned with your accounting courses, broken down by chapter and topics. My resources consist of lectures, multiple choice questions, true-false questions, as well as exercises. Go ahead, start your free trial today.
The impossibility, this concept in contract law, refers to a situation where there's an unforeseen event that makes the fulfillment of the contract impossible, meaning it cannot be completed by anyone. And this defense frees the affected party from their obligation under the contract. Simply put, you would say, I cannot perform, and the reason I cannot perform because of this event occurring. And as a result, what we have is a defense. What's the defense? Impossibility of performing. Now, it's important to note, and they try to trick you a lot on the exam, that an increase in the cost of fulfilling the contract is an impossibility. And the answer is no. Just because their cost went up, it's not, you're going to lose on this contract, but that does not equate to freeing you up. I'm no longer have to complete the contract because my cost went up. So that does not qualify as an impossibility. Also, it's raining today. I don't feel like going to work, or I can't do the work because it's raining. That's not also a reasonable impossibility. So we're going to look at few situations, and at the end of the day, you have to use your judgment. Let's take a look at the first example. Emma contracts with a specialized glass-blowing studio to create 100 custom vases. There's a valid contract. However, a sudden and severe earthquake destroyed the studio, rendering the people that work there incapable of fulfilling the order. Well, under those circumstances, Emma cannot insist on the party in completing the contract because the necessary equipment no longer exists, and this is a demonstration of an objective impossibility. Let's take a look at another example. Let's assume Leo agrees to buy a large quantity of organic beans from a supplier, Maya. Great. Well, there was a flood, and this flood destroyed Maya's storage facilities. However, Maya can still fulfill the contract by doing what? Sourcing the beans from another organic growers. In this case, the contract is not void due to impossibility. Maya does have alternative means to supply the beans. The moral of the story, if you have an alternative way to fulfill your requirement, you are expected to do so. Therefore, you cannot say it's impossible. Now, again, what would happen at the end of the day? Maybe it will go to the court and the judge will decide. But the point here is, if you can find an alternative way to fulfill your requirement, then you're supposed to do that. Let's take a look at this example. Kara contracts with Dalen to restore a rare vintage motorcycle. Okay, great. We have a contract, valid contract. Before restoration, the motorcycle is irreparably damaged in a transportation accident. So it was destroyed. Well, the contract becomes void due to the impossibility of the specific subject, which is the motorcycle, that no longer exists. Therefore, the contract becomes void. Let's take a look at a fourth example that deals with personal services. Chris signs a contract with Nora, a violinist, for a private concert. Before the event starts, Nora suffers an injury that permanently prevents her from playing the violin. Well, the contract is void on the grounds impossibilities, since Noah's personal performance is the essence of the contract. So she cannot hire someone else. She's performing. She can no longer perform. Therefore, the contract is void due to impossibility, what we call impossibilities. Let's take a look at this multiple choice questions from Farhat lectures. A company contracts with a builder to construct a facility at a fixed price. During construction, the cost of the material unexpectedly tripled. What is the status of the contract? Now, this could happen in many third world countries because of high inflation. Those issues could happen very quickly. So, what is the status of the contract? The contract is void due to the impossibility because of the increased cost. Can we invoke the increase in cost as an impossibility? And the answer is no. Just because the cost increased, you could have hedged your position, you could have increased your prices. You're in a business, you should know better. Therefore, A is out. The builder must continue the construction without additional charges. That's what it looks to me, because we agreed on a fixed price. Unless we change, the builder must continue. Let's look at C. The company must pay the increased cost to continue construction. Not at all. The company agreed on a fixed price. C is out. The contract can be renegotiated due to the change in material cost. The status of this contract is you got to keep going. Now, if they want to negotiate, we're not talking about this contract anymore, because the question is about the status of the contract. The contract can be negotiated, but that's not the question. The question is, what is the status of the existing contract? The status is the builder must continue working to complete their job. What should you do now? You want to go to Farhat lectures, look at additional MCQs. That's going to help you whether you are studying for your CPA exam, you are taking some courses, invest in yourself, invest in your career. Good luck. Farhat lectures is always here to help you.